Okay, so good evening, everyone. And I would like to request everyone to take a seat. Trust me, this is going to be a very interesting one, and definitely you would love it. So I'll start this session expressing my gratitude to you all for taking the time and attending this session. I hope your day is going so far so good. This learning, networking, and there is still many more to do. My name is Bhawani Sharma, and I'm a CTO at Fexel Services. I'm a certified marketing cloud and CDP professional. So my end goal over here is to share everything with you that what I have learned in last 15 years working with the customers and how I have used marketing cloud APIs to set up the integration between the third-party system and the marketing cloud. So let's get started. Before that, a little bit about me. I'm working onto the Salesforce platform since 2007 and holds almost 29 Salesforce different type of certifications. I'm leading a Salesforce developer user group in Jaipur in India. And apart from a lot of other events, I have also spoken into Dreamforce 2 times. But it always feels like that today I'm talking and it's like first time again. Okay, so this is our agenda is going to be today for this talk where we'll talk about that is this marketing cloud API is really beneficial and why should you use it, what values it brings. Then we'll talk about that is it really worthful, how people are using it, and if anybody had solved any kind of business problem using this integration. Then we'll get into a demo where we'll see live that how to integrate the third-party application with the marketing cloud. After that, I'll be sharing some of the references which would be incredibly helpful to getting started as the first step onto this integration side. And then we'll get into the QA. Okay, so if we talk about what is there for me, first is integration. So marketing cloud APIs allow you to integrate your third-party application with the marketing cloud platform, where after this integration, you do have access to the data where all those different platforms can manage that data as well. It also allows you to access the metadata of marketing cloud as well. Customization. It enables developer to write business-specific applications. So every business does have their specific business use case. That means APIs, using the APIs that developers can build a specific business-specific solution which can help tremendously business to reduce the manual effort. Automation, again, everybody loves it. APIs makes it enable to automate a lot of marketing cloud related functionality like your campaign management, your segmentations, and saves a lot of time. And the time you save can be devoted towards another business initiatives. Marketing cloud APIs can scale with the business. So while the business is focusing onto the business growth, it also needs to take care of the customer satisfaction, customer segmentation, and all those. While you are working towards the business growth, marketing cloud will take care of, APIs will take care of making sure that your business is scalable. And finally, analytics. It also allows you to access the analytics data where everybody can see that which campaign is performing well, and accordingly you can devote into the next campaign. There are two different types of APIs marketing cloud has, SOAP API and the REST APIs. We won't deep dive into each type of APIs over here in this session. However, the objective over here to show is what all the different type of components you can access using the REST APIs and what all the modules you can access using the SOAP API. Now let's talk about the use cases. So you are running a great retail company and maybe the online platform you are using, it can be Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, or Commerce Cloud, anything. You have set up a nice customer registration form, which requires a little bit of data, first name, last name, email, and so on. Once the customer comes to this form, click onto the create account, you want to start your customer onboarding journey, where first you send the welcome email, and after 7 days, you start engaging that customers. So for that, you'll be setting up all your journey into the Marketing Cloud, but with the help of Marketing Cloud APIs, you can connect your front-end application directly with the Marketing Cloud platform. So from the front-end application, you can trigger the journey right away. Another great use case is because, again, you are a great company, you also respect a lot about the security. Now, your customer is trying to log in from a location which you are not aware with. It's totally unidentified location. The moment customers try to do that, you just want to make sure that it is the same customer who I have. So you immediately trigger a notification, a one-time verification code to that customer. On email or onto the message, this is verification code, enter it, and you should be successfully logged in. So for that, again, in the Marketing Cloud, you can set up a transactional journey. Transactional journey is basically absolutely real time. It doesn't wait for anything. And then from your front-end application, again, you can call the APIs and can trigger the transactional journey right away. Okay, now let's talk about an interesting use case. So third one is transactional email based onto the user access. So maybe, again, the moment user done a purchase, immediately you trigger an email that's all the order receipt and everything. The fourth use case is very interesting, which is acquisition, merge, and split, where the two companies goes into an engagement where the company acquired another company, or maybe the two different companies merged together, or maybe the one company split it into the two different companies. Let's talk about the acquisition use case, where the parent company has their own Marketing Cloud instance, and the child company also got their own Marketing Cloud instance. End of the day, the goal is bringing the child company's separate Marketing Cloud account into the parent company's Marketing Cloud account. Now, if you think about it, child company, with the years and years of effort, they have built a lot of customer journeys, a lot of content, a lot of images, and they have done a lot of exercise into their Marketing Cloud platform. Bringing that entire metadata into the parent Marketing Cloud instance would be a very tedious task. So the APIs would enable you to access the metadata from the one instance, grab it, and deploy it all together into a second instance. We'll talk about it as well. So now let's actually look into what exactly happens. How do you actually integrate your Marketing Cloud with the other third-party application? Again, we talked about this form where the prospect comes, enter the information, and click onto the Create Account button. So this is how that third-party application authenticate with the Marketing Cloud first. There is an authorization API where they will have to enter the client ID and client secret. I'll talk about it, but account ID. Account ID is specifically in which business unit you are working in. To get the client ID and client secret, you will have to set up a package into the Marketing Cloud. We'll get into that. But if everything goes fine, when you hit that endpoint, you'll be getting a response like this, where you'll be getting an access token, which is you'll be using in all the upcoming call out to the Marketing Clouds. This is what your package looks like. And actually, let's do it into the Marketing Cloud now. Just a second, I'll have to log in. Just a second again, and okay. Wow, okay. Perfect. So as a first step, you'll have to go to Setup. Once you do that, you go to the Packages, or it's right over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, okay. Okay, is it up now? Perfect. Okay, so you log in into the Marketing Cloud. I'll start again. Go to the Setup, and you'll be navigated onto this screen where you'll see an option called installed packages. Once you click into it, it will allow you to set up the package. Package is pretty much similar to the connected app, which will give you the client ID and the client secret, which the third-party system will be using to connect to the marketing cloud. So I'll go to new, and let's call it London calling, and then put a pretty neat and clean description so you know that why did you set up this application. Save it, and then add component. You'll be choosing API integration, and then I'll be using the client credential as an authorization. This screen asks you that what different type of access you want to grant to the third-party application, the journey, the data extension, or whatever you want. So I'll say save. Once it is saved, you'll be getting client ID, client secret, authorization URL. This is actually the information which the third system would need to connect to the marketing cloud instance. For this demo, I have already set up my own package already, which is I'm using in my Postman. Okay, so let's get back onto the screen. So we have done this part. App is all set up. I have also set up a pretty simple marketing cloud journey, and what this journey does is, as soon as the journey is triggered, it will send a welcome email to the prospect, whosoever subscribed. I'll show you that what that journey looks like. Okay, so pretty straightforward journey. Looks very simple, but it can be as complicated as you want. Means over here you can set up your decision box. First email, the user didn't open, send a second email, send a third email, and so on. Now let's go to the Postman again. So this is, I have already set up the authentication API. I have already set up the client ID, client secret, and my business unit ID. The moment I click onto the send button, if everything is okay, it will say status code is 200 and I'll receive the access token. This access token I'll be using in all the upcoming calls to the marketing cloud. So my end goal over here is the moment user fill that form and click onto the submit button, I want it to start the welcome journey. Over here, I'm showing that this is the specific payload, and it is talking about, if you look at the URL, it is going to trigger an event. This is event definition key, which is the unique name of my journey into the marketing cloud. And I have set up all the parameters over here. What is the first name, what is the last name, and what is the email address, which will be coming from my front-end application. This is my authorization code. I have already set it up as a variable, which I received from the authentication call. When I say yes, okay, so this subscriber already exists. So let's say 16. So if everything goes fine, you will see that subscriber got created into the marketing cloud as status 201 created, and you will receive the response. Now that journey will be immediately triggered into the marketing cloud. Let's go. And if everything goes fine, the subscriber will be receiving a message like this: welcome to the program, hi, thank you for signing up. And you can create the nice email template. I'm very bad into all these things. Very quick, another example is where we talked about the one-time verification code. For this, I have already set up a transactional journey into the marketing cloud. I'll quickly show you what that journey looks like. Okay, pretty simple. As soon as this transactional journey is triggered, user will be receiving a message with the verification code, and they will have to enter that code to get into the application. Okay. Again, I'm calling a separate marketing cloud APIs, which is a real-time API, and I have set up that specific code. The moment this is get triggered, I'll receive a response. If everything goes fine, it will be accepted, and I'll receive the success response. And user will receive a message saying that this is your verification code. If everything goes fine, user will receive a message like this: thanks for signing up, and this is your verification code. Just make sure to enter in this application. Perfect. Everything looks very smooth so far and very straightforward. We just talked about very simple 2 use cases. However, you can make it as robust and as complex as you want. Won't complex, but the complex use cases you can achieve with that. This use case, I'm working with a customer, imagine, that does have 15 separate business units. And most of the time what happens is, the journey I'm setting up onto my parent business unit, it requires all the 15 different business unit requires the pretty much same journey with a very small changes. Same thing, any email template I'm setting up for my corporate business unit, all the different 15 business unit requires the same kind of email template with the minor changes into the content. 2 things, either I do it manually into all those 15 units. The second thing could be I use the existing deployment manager, where I pull everything I need to know, what all the content I need to pull from the using the deployment manager, what all the journeys, what all the folder structure, which will take a little bit of time. And I'm not sure how much you know about deployment manager, but the more complex journey it is, deployment manager requires a little bit of additional manual effort to set it up into the separate one. Now, Marketing Cloud journey would enables you to fetch this metadata, the entire journey metadata, figuring out all the dependencies this journey has onto the other components, package it all together and deploy it into a single shot onto your target business unit. So let's do it together. We have seen triggering the journeys and all those things, but now let's actually get into deploying the metadata. So for that, I have created a very simple demo for this purpose. Okay. So this is a pretty simple application. What it does is basically, it will ask you, oh, sorry, wow, I'm very bad, sorry. Okay, so this is a pretty simple application. What it will ask you to do is that enter all your authentication related information. Where do you want to pull the data from? So again, same client ID, client secret, authentication URL, your business unit ID to pull the metadata. And for demo purpose, I have already saved all that information. When I click onto the retrieve, what it is doing is basically it is logging into the source org and pulling all the entire metadata content from there and displaying it onto this screen. So what this data is looking like, so let me show you. If I get into my content builder, I have set up a pretty simple, neat and clean email template. What it is doing is it includes 2 different type of images. First one, logo, second an image, and then third is a little bit of content. This email template I have stored into a folder called API journey. And my end goal is to deploy this template into the other business unit. That's all my goal, without worrying about what all the dependency this template has. I'll go to a separate business unit to make sure that this does not already exist. Okay, so it is already there. I'll just go ahead and delete everything. Delete. Perfect, and I'll just delete this folder as well. Okay, so this is my child BU, does not have that email template which I'm planning to bring from the parent BU. Let's go to the tool again. Okay, I pulled all the metadata from my parent BU. It is all displaying over here. I select this email template, say London is calling, and we saw that this template is dependent onto the 2 separate images, and also this is stored into a separate folder. However, on this screen, I'm just seeing that deploy this template. I don't want to worry about what all the folders and everything it is dependent on. Again, this screen is basically asking me, where do you want to deploy it? Just enter that information and trigger it. I could make it probably 15 different connections over here into a single shot and could deploy it all together into 15 different business unit as well. So I'll say that I entered my client ID, client secret, authentication URL, and let's say deploy. Start. Now, in the background, what is happening is when I click onto the deploy button, the application go into the source org, fetch all the metadata related to that template, which I have added over there, and then it create a package. It find out the dependencies, folder dependency, images dependency, and then put it all together and deploy it into the target org. So you can see that it says deployed category API journey, which is basically a folder. It deployed the folder first because template cannot go unless the folder is defined. It figured out that dependency, it deployed the folder, and then it deployed the template. Now, let's go in this org and let's just refresh it. And now you can see that this API journey folder has been created. It got the template, it got the images and everything into the target org. So just one click, everything is happening behind the scene, and then it got deployed onto my target org. Let's go back to the slides again. Okay, so we talked about this one. So this application, this small application I had put together, this demo, this is all in Node.js. In Node.js, what we are doing is basically we are just calling the Marketing Cloud APIs to pull the data from, and then packaging it, and then deploying it into a target org. And over here, you can see that target org credential, source org credential, and so on. And then we are just calling Marketing Cloud APIs to deploy that data into the target org. So in nutshell, what all we discussed. One is the benefit of the Marketing Cloud integration, where what values it brings. The second is we talked about how to create the package, which will enable you to get client ID, client secret, and authentication URL, which you'll be needing into authenticating to the Marketing Cloud. We looked at how you authenticate to the Marketing Cloud, which will give you the access token, which you required into all the upcoming calls you'll be making into the Marketing Cloud. We triggered two separate journeys, normal journey and the transactional journey, right from the customer-facing application into the Marketing Cloud. And then we built a small deployment utility using the Marketing Cloud APIs. Where I should start from? So if you would be looking forward to start onto the Marketing Cloud integration, the first one is the Salesforce provided Marketing Cloud APIs reference link, which actually talks about all the different type of APIs available and how can you access a specific type of component, journeys, data extension, and so on. The second one is, it's a great link where Salesforce already has a Postman collection. You can fork it into your Postman utility, and then you can start playing around it. The third link is the demo we have seen today, where the triggering the journey. This is a public GitHub URL that I have set up. You can just go onto this link, and you can set it up into your Postman tool. It will let you connect to the Marketing Cloud right away. And that's all about it. I'm happy to take the questions now. Yes, sir.
How long did it take you to set up the deployment tool and how much work?
See, Mies, that's a very tough question you had asked. So basically, the more you want to do with this tool, for this demo purpose, I just took an example of the email template. However, if I wanted to connect to the journey, I wanted to connect to the data extension, the more use cases I put together, the more time. So even, let's say, if one integration you say 10 to 16 hours, maybe probably for the 50 different endpoints, you'll be just multiply that. The setting up the framework would definitely take time on the first time. Once you have the framework set up, after that, it's just plug and play with the APIs. Yeah.
So my question is, what type of other deployment you will be able to use with those APIs?
So let me understand your question. What type of deployment we would be able to handle using the API? Is that the question is?
Yes. For example, you use a use case of deploying email, but a part of emails. Is there any other use case you can use that for?
Sure. So see, where the first use case we talked about where you are using maybe a Shopify or WooCommerce type of front-end application, e-commerce application, and then on the other side you have Marketing Cloud as a platform. You really want to make sure that who is navigating towards the website, and if they are setting up some, let's say they are signing up onto the website, and then immediately you have set up all your campaigns and journey into the Marketing Cloud. From the front-end application, as soon as the user subscribe, you wanted to start tracking their onboarding journey, the welcome journey. The first day, welcome. After 7 days, okay, these are the best things you should buy from us. That is the first type of use case you can do, that marketing automation. The second type of use case was specifically towards where you really wanted to speed up your development. So I worked with a customer based out of Germany. They had separate business unit into Italy, had UK, had the US, and all those business units had their own language template. So basically, it was too much of tedious task to create all these templates all the time. We went ahead and set up this tool, where we just pull the template, put it, and then change the language, and that's all, nothing else. Perfect, thank you.
Sorry, just building on that. Is it possible to package up your using APIs for Journey Builder?
Oh yeah, absolutely yes.
100%.
Absolutely yes.
All right, thank you.
Actually, I was having the same question, but it's basically like right now we have two packages available for Marketing Cloud. First is Deployment Manager, second is Package Manager. Both works in a different way, and they have their own pros and cons right
Absolutely.
now, right? So what is the benefit of new? Right now, it's an external application, and most of the client will not approve to use it because it's not integrated with Marketing Cloud directly.
You're right.
Correct. And now I think we can see that the package managers we have right now for Marketing Cloud, they do not work on in a better way for dependencies. Like so, let's say for automation, so it copies the automation exactly, but when it comes to journeys, it just copies the draft version of the journey, not all the configuration, because of some security maybe of that or something else. So what about these new transfer?
Exactly. So this is just a demo. This is
Yeah.
just a demo and demo application I set up for this London calling specifically. This is not a specific tool at all. This is an organization specific tool. It is not
Okay.
maybe a solution. So if you remember into the starting of the session, we talked about that maybe there would be a, again, means absolutely correct about the deployment manager and the package manager where it cannot identify the dependencies. You need to know what all you need to include. So if you have a pretty complex journey, you need to know what data extensions you need to include, journey you need to include, and all the email template you need to include. The fetch that, create a package and deploy it. However, because this is a totally customized solution, totally customized, nothing standard, you will have to write the code to find out that dependency. This my journey, so journey is basically an XML.
Yeah.
Once you pull it, you need to figure it out. Oh, I got the email over there. Now fetch the email. Is this email onto a folder? Now fetch the folder first. So basically, you will have to traverse each node, figuring out where do you find the dependency, fetch that metadata, and then put it together and deploy it. So it's all you will have to do the custom.
So it's basically like every time if the client changes or if the requirement changes, we have to customize the platform according to that. Then we can deploy the these particular applications easily.
Right, means this is organization specific tool.
No,
This is
I
not a
understand
product.
that.
That's absolutely means every business does have their own specific
Yeah.
use cases. Over here in my use case, I had one parent BU and 15 business unit. We were devoting a lot of time into manually copying and all those things, figuring out what cannot be done into the deployment manager. That's why we built this small utility to take care of all those parts. In your use case, if the client is asking for the specific use cases, then definitely. But the API would enable you to write that code that you would be able to meet your business needs.
Okay, got it. So
It
is this application publicly available or
No,
not?
no,
It's
no.
just
So we built it for the customer.
okay.
So I set it up a small part of it just for the demo purpose, so everybody understand it, that power of the Marketing Cloud APIs.
Yeah. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what limitations there are to the Marketing Cloud API. Is there anything we should be aware of?
That's a very tough question. So far, I haven't came across any. So basically, if we talked about the REST APIs and the SOAP APIs, where what you can access with the SOAP API, what you can access with the REST APIs, if you are trying to access anything beyond that, that's not available. That's the only limitation so far I know. But other than that, everything. Absolutely. It's not like Salesforce, like a streaming API or the graphic. Absolutely, yes. Yes, means I'll be around. If you have any questions, feel free to talk. And you had been a great audience. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Anthony from DSelect. And what is DSelect as a platform? It is essentially a way to enable marketers that use the Salesforce Marketing Cloud to get more out of their data. DSelect serves both non-technical marketers, for instance, those who do not know how to write SQL queries, as well as technical marketers who are very well versed in a platform, but who are looking for ways to be more efficient or who just want to enable their less technical colleagues. DSelect is an official Salesforce Marketing Cloud partner that offers the leading marketing data enablement platform on AppExchange. Fortune 500 leaders and mid-sized businesses leverage DSelect's intuitive solutions to help marketing teams create more powerful segmented audiences, control marketing communication frequency, and achieve faster Marketing Cloud ROI without code or technical dependencies.